What's up, guys? I got actually a little tutorial video here on Town Hall 10 Mass Valk, and I'm going to go through 4 or 5 attacks and show you kind of the planning and execution phase from some recent high-level matchups that we've been in, starting here with an attack actually on Big Easy from North Remembers. And basically what it's going to be is an open queen walk where she's going to walk down this top side up here, right? And you're going to send Valks to take out all the middle part of the base, right? That literally is the point of the strategy. But there are some very crucial things you have to think about, and you know, it helps to have a good scout on the base for sure. And one thing we actually knew from the scout, the guy had actually done a queen walk down this side. I think he dropped her right about here, and she walked over. And then for whatever reason, she actually tried to get into this wizard tower here, so she actually starts beating through the wall right there. So we already knew that from the scout, and I'm going to take advantage of that by not dropping any wall breakers right there, and I actually do go ahead and drop a wizard on this dark barracks as well, because he can do quite a bit of cleanup work right there. But I mean, knowing that she's going to bust through the wall, we can see that his queen, or that my queen rather, is going to be able to take out all of this for sure. For sure. She's going to be able to take out all of that, right? And that's going to do a very good job funneling our Valks. Now, one thing you have to think about is what's going to happen once they're inside. So, well, actually, first off, how do I get them inside? And I have one solution for that, and that's getting the aggro of the queen. When you have a small compartment right here, where all the Valks will potentially be in, if you can get them all in that compartment, then when the queen starts shooting over at the Valks, it's pretty much going to get all of these Valks that are in this area, which is going to be all of them, to aggro onto the queen, and they're going to bust through the wall, right? So once they get hit by the queen, they'll bust through the wall and be in this middle compartment, and from there, a lot of good things can happen. As you can see, I pretty much can see all the base. My queen has already done a lot of work up north, and depending on where they go, I can drop my spells accordingly, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try to get my Valks to get in this compartment, and the way I'm going to do that is by dropping my king right on... Oh, shoot. Let's get this blue. My king right here, if I'm not mistaken, I might have to go look at it again and remember exactly. My king right there and a funnel wizard behind him. Actually, I think I drop a wizard right here to let my king kind of bounce back and go up. I don't remember. And then I'm going to drop my Valks, 24 Valks, right? I'm going to drop them all right here. Just 24 Valks right there. And they're just going to path around, go through this building, and go right inside. You can see once they're inside, they're going to continue going down this hallway. Once they're at that gold storage, there's nowhere else for them to go except for going into this compartment. Once they're in this compartment, they're in the core because of the queen aggro, right? So what I'm going to do then, assuming that my Valks are going to be ending at that point, is I'm going to drop a rage. And my rage is going to be right here. Let's make that blue. My rage is going to be right here to cover the wall and cover the back wall. And that's actually a little bit small for the rage. Let's make that a little bit bigger to be a little more representative of what the rage looks like. But as you see, they're going to be raged through this wall, which is just basically 1 or 2 hits from the Valks. They're going to go inside this compartment. They should be able to take out these buildings right here by the wizards and everything before catching the queen aggro. And if they don't, that's not a huge problem. My king will be right behind them. And then get into the core. Once they're in the core, I can do the exact same thing where I drop a rage. And I forget actually if I brought a jump or if I brought a freeze. I don't exactly remember, but you really don't need the freeze in general. If there's enough DPS in the core where you're scared that they won't, you know, they'll be losing too many Valks, then it might be worth it to bring a heal to get them through a little bit quicker. But it just kind of depends on. Man, I hate that rage. Let's try to draw it again. Let's see if I can draw a good circle. That's still too small though. Oh, I shouldn't be OCD. Oh well, that rage is still too small, but either way, it's going to be able to cover the core and cover the back wall, and then, you know, I'll either have one heal, a jump, or a freeze left for my Valks. Most likely we'll bring a heal no matter what, just to keep them healed up, and then either a rage for my queen, or a freeze or a jump. That's typically my 5th spell. So as you see, yeah, so I actually do bring 2 heals for my Valks. I wasn't sure. And so what I'm going to do, exactly like I mentioned, I'm going to drop my queen up there. She's going to continue working her way around. Once she tanks those cannons is when I'll drop that whiz, but I can just about ignore her Also knowing that the CC is a hound and a wizard. If it had been something different, it might be worth it to lure it and get it on my queen, but you also have to think that that's going to be a time sink, and sometimes with a spam attack like this, really is what it is, you don't know exactly where the Valks will end up. So then I come in with my Valks. As you see, I actually drop my oh, I try to get them in right there. I apologize. But I do drop some wall breakers as well as the wall breakers in the CC. They're going to bust through this wall really easily. I do have that rage. They're going to get through the back wall to get to the queen. As you see, this is really fast, hard to commentate. Into the core there, rip through everything. I do have a heal, and so I have 24 Valks, and 5 of them are being hit right now by the Inferno, but it's not going to be enough to where it really matters. I dropped that rage down, and really I should have been a little bit further down to make sure I cover that intersection between the Valks, or sorry, that Wizard Tower and the cannon, but it didn't really matter. Because right now, look, there's nothing left of the base. Because the Valks are able to expand through the core like that, they're able to get through a ton of the base. And yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of cleanup to be done, but having the Valks, having the leftover wizards, having my queen with a healer on her, and having all this time, you're able to just get the rest of the base taken out. It was a little bit unfortunate the way my queen did sort of walk around right there instead of going to the, you know, busting through the wall and taking out the wizard tower. She lost some healers, but it didn't really matter because I have the Valks, I have the wizards down there, and I actually end up popping the hound at the end, so it almost did run out of time. But still, I mean, a lot of things went wrong on cleanup, and I still was able to get through it pretty easily. You know, I did save a poison to help take out the hound, you know, whatever, and I'm able to get those last defenses. But I mean, it's just a very OP attack and doesn't really need a heavy scout either. There's a lot of things you can do. So here we are in the next war versus the Swarm, where I just did another one, and this one's the same sort of thing. So let's scout it first. So basically what this is going to be is I'm going to walk my queen, and this time actually, same thing, from the north. She's able to reach all these buildings up here. Get that pan out. So she can reach all these buildings and continue working her way around. She is going to have the king on her, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I'm going to try to do the same thing. And in this case, I don't know if she's going to continue walking around or not, so I do bring wall breakers for her. And as you'll see, it doesn't go right, but it doesn't really matter. But you know, my plan is for her to be able to take out these buildings and then wall breaker in, right? Whenever she catches aggro of that cannon right there, to drop wall breakers down right about here or so and bust through this wall to where my queen will be able to reach all this interior stuff as well. And I do know there's a Tesla here and a Tesla here that would potentially hurt cleanup, but I went ahead and just kind of ignored them, to be honest. But anyway, I'll go ahead and show the attack. I don't want to go too much into it because it is more, you know, it didn't go as well, so it's not as good of an idea. There is a Tesla also backed by this Expo and this Inferno, so I do go ahead and bring a freeze instead of another heal. But as you see, my queen actually is not going to walk correctly because she's going to go to that wizard tower and then step over to the whatever it's called, the hut. And I also failed with my minion down there that I was trying to use for funnel. But it didn't really matter. I do drop my Valks down there. And as you see, my queen is just kind of being dumb. She's actually going to come back for this archer tower. And at this point, she just walks around. And I really not wanted to do that. I'm really surprised that she did do it. But it ends up being okay because she is going to help out. Do go and drop that poison down. The queen stepped over the wall, which I was a little bit surprised about. The CC goes through really quickly. Rage right there, rage in the core. They're going to take that out really easily. I go ahead and freeze down to keep them all healed up. And then as you see, once they're down here in the south, there really is nowhere else for them to go except for through the wall. They do get through a little bit quicker than I wanted to be honest. I dropped that heal down that would try to keep them healed up through the wall, but they ripped through it so quick that they didn't even get that much healing on them. But as you see, the Valks and the healers are just going to continue working, or Valks and Wizard rather, continue working their way around here. My queen is going to do a ton of work from this middle compartment, and if she had been in the compartment where I wanted her to, she could reach a whole lot more, but it is going to be okay because my Valks and my Wizards are working through nicely here to be able to get most of the base. Right here, my king almost dies to that exterior giant bomb, but somehow he's actually going to stay alive, even hitting a single bomb right here in a second. Well, yeah, there he goes. Hits a single bomb. I really thought he was going to die right there, but he's able to get it anyway, and I had, I think, 20 seconds on the clock, so my queen could have gotten through the wall and gotten around, but still, I mean, even when things go wrong, these are very safe attacks to be done either fresh or second hit to test a queen walk or test a you know, just to get the 2-star even. It's a very safe attack, but it's just taking advantage of the fact that you don't need to have a jump. You can use the queen aggro to pull her through, and even right there where I didn't really have the queen aggro, I had the CC aggro. So taking advantage of aggro in order to pull your valks in. Here we have another attack that was done by Draven, which is really the same sort of thing. So really what he's going to try to do here is get his valks into the compartment down there to the southeast. I guess I can draw it. He's going to try to get his valks down in this compartment, right? Let's pull that highlighter up so it doesn't completely cover the screen. Going to pull that valks down there, and then that's going to catch the aggro of the queen shooting over, right? Just like before, just like we were talking about. And he's going to bring his queen to walk just right in here, take out the CC, and keep it off the enemy queen, right? So that's basically all he's doing. It's a pretty simple attack. Like I mentioned, very simple principles. It just is a matter of doing them, right? But honestly, the execution isn't as hard as like a queen walk balloon or something like that, which has been as popular. You know, the main 3-star strategies of Town Hall 10. Valks are a lot easier. So yeah, same thing. So right, so he's going to drop his queen over there on the east side. Let's go and fast forward a little bit through the walk. He's going to also start making his funnel. You can see down here in the south, he has a lot of free minion funnels, so he's going to start doing that while the queen is going in there working on the CC kill, hitting that wall breaker down. Fast forwarding still. Does have to use a rage right there, which he probably didn't want to do, but that's okay. He did bring 4 rages, so it didn't matter. Going to get that poison down to help speed things up. I'll bring it back down to 1x as he's still making his funnel here for his valks. So he's just going to bring in 1 wizard and 1 valk there to keep making the funnel. I would have dropped a king down to be a little more tanky than the valk, but you know, either way. Valk's going in right there. As you see, same thing. They only have 1 place to go, so they're going to beat through the wall. He doesn't use the rage like I did. He is going to save the rage for once they're through there, but probably could have still dropped the rage to have both of them. Does drop the heal as well, and he drops that heal because they're not going to be in range of the mortar or the Inferno Tower for a second. But you know, then at the end of the heal they are. But having that rage right there, they're able to bust through both these compartments right here, rip through to actually help the queen through as well, which is going to help, and be able to get to that northwest compartment. Look at his valks. He has like 10, 15 valks still alive at this point. Not enough to split off where it really is going to matter. Everything's still working their way around really nicely. I would have liked to have a wizard save for this point to be able to drop on outside buildings. As you see, they're going to get to the outside, but it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. The healers are split, which is actually not a bad thing, because typically you're not going to have more than 1 point defense on the queen. She did already use her ability, but that's okay. They are all back on the queen now at this point. Valks are still working their way around the outside. As you see, I think he still has 10 alive, something like that. Queen is going to be able to reach everything here from the middle, so even going to swag that king ability, which is pretty nice. I'll speed it up through the cleanup here. And yeah, I mean, it's a really kind of no-brainer attack. Oh wow, both his archers right there tripped a mini bomb. That's funny. But yeah, so very nice attack there to Draven, using the exact same principles as before with minor tweaks, right? So pretty cool stuff. And our last raid here, we're actually going to look at my attack, because it wouldn't be a selfish video by me if we didn't end on my own attack. So basically what I am going to do is a little queen walk starting in the north, and you can kind of see she's able to get a lot of value up there, and actually in one of the scouts that I had, that it might have been the 2-star, I don't remember, he just kind of sends in his queen and she is able to take out all those buildings, right? And one thing you'll notice though is if you get her into that compartment, she's able to first take out the CC, right, which is nice, and then she's able to reach this Inferno Tower, and once this Expo goes down, there's not really anything else shooting at her. There's somewhat of a chance, I guess, that this Archer Tower is going to be shooting at her, just depending on where she is when she's on the Inferno, but even if that's there, that's only 1 point defense, so she'll be able to pop her ability and take that Inferno Tower down, even if you do have to burn a rage, but it turned out that I didn't have to use it. And I do go ahead and bring a hog to get the lure, just to make sure that when I'm on that Inferno Tower, I'm not on the CC at the same time. And yeah, so as you can see, so from that, let's draw it out. We're basically relying on our queen to take out all of these buildings, right? That's what we're hoping happens. And it ends up sort of working out that I drop my Valks a little bit early, and that's going to really mess up their pathing, because they're actually going to go for this Inferno Tower right here. But the plan, anyway, was for them to wall break through, or I guess bust through the wall, and then I drop the first rage to cover up into the queen compartment right here. And then I'm going to drop a jump that is going to cover that back side, right over here to get them back to that Inferno Tower pretty quickly, and to you know, get the queen taken down, because they are going to catch aggro on the queen. That's why I don't bring 2 jumps. They're going to catch aggro here when she's standing about on that air defense, and that's going to enable them to bust that wall really easily, especially under rage. And then I have another rage for the Valks and a heal. So I think my rage, I end up putting something like there, and my heal, because so at this point really I don't even drop that, I don't think, because I'm really watching my Valks right now. They actually end up going north, as I mentioned, sort of following the queen, because the Inferno Tower wasn't down yet, and there's a Tesla right there. But it ends up working out because I actually am able to get just enough Valks up in this Inferno Tower, and I'm able to get a heal down. But I'll go and show the replay though, because it's my planning wasn't exactly ideal. So you can see the opener though, and from then we're just watching our Valks, right? So 3 rages, 1 heal, 1 jump. Queen Walt goes down. Gonna take out all those buildings like I mentioned. She'll come around once she has the aggro, or once she's tanking that cannon. I drop the wall breakers down. Once that archer tower goes down, I drop the hog in order to go for that cannon. It does trip a giant bomb, but Hound Loon in the CC, so it didn't really matter. They're gonna get on my queen. Rage goes down, or poison goes down. Almost lose my wizard right there to walking around, but it ends up working out. Pretty much as soon as it's popped, I go and start sending my Valks in. So send my king in, send a wizard down, just like before, just making sure my king is walking the right direction, and a wizard just helping with the funnel. All my Valks are going down. Because this Tesla pops right here, they actually bust through the wall and go to this mortar first, but that kind of ends up helping me out more, to be honest, because they're able to kind of stay out of the way. But because it's taking so long, that's why I dropped my rage there. Otherwise, I could have potentially put it a little further up. Do have to pop king ability a little bit early, which is unfortunate. But as you see, these Valks going up north right here is probably what messed me up. But see, these Valks go through the jump, and they actually take out that Inferno Tower, which is very fortunate right here. So when that Inferno Tower is down, I see there's a lot for my troops to have to go through up here in the north, right? So I drop the heal down, and that's actually a good thing. It sounded like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing that there's so much for them to go through, because I'm able to get them completely healed back up. So you see both of these walls right here, these Valks are under heal. They're going to rip through really easily. This little pack of Valks going down to the southwest. My queen is also going to go down there, well, eventually. And my king and a couple Valks up in the north, with a wizard streaking around with it, is just going to be able to get the rest of this cleanup. So really good split that is fortunate, because it wasn't really how I planned for my Valks to go, but I have so many Valks up at this point that there really is nothing else stopping me except potentially time, as they ignore that wizard tower or mortar right there. But as you can see, they are going to come back around to be able to take that mortar down. So once again, just about getting your troops into the right position and just letting them do the rest of the work, right? But anyway, guys, big shout out to my clan for providing me the great content. Big shout out to One Hive, the Swarm, and North Remembers for allowing me to put this video out. And yeah, I mean, thanks to all of y'all as well for watching. Hopefully y'all learned a little bit about how to use aggro to your advantage, and how to place your spells, leading your Valks, and using your queen in order to funnel them properly through the base, right? Yeah, hopefully we'll start seeing more of these Valk attacks before Supercell inevitably nerfs them. But yeah, right now they're really powerful, and I love it. I really do. It's making Town Hall 10 fun again. But oh well, thanks for checking out the video, guys. Peace.